is your October 2022 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, then this is your reading. It's Romy here. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune into the channel. So we are opening up with the energy of the King of Pentacles for you. Now, there is an intensity playing out through this month, and you're going to have to meet the moment so that you don't get lost in the translation because it's incredibly layered. I feel that there's going to be something quite mind-blowing that takes place this month, and I almost see you looking back going, did that just happen? So it might shock you a little bit, but I think it's going to leave you with no doubt, and it may even change your entire outlook in regards to something. Now, this earth energy of the king is bringing in a sense of certainty with regards to the trajectory of your path right now. And I think you'll want to welcome that as we're moving into eclipse season. There's going to be some important signposts that show up for you, whether they be translated through the connections and relationships that you have, important conversations that unfold, but also I feel intuitively some really significant signs that are going to make their way through and into your conscious awareness this month. Now, there might be somebody significant, possibly an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, that does bear influence in terms of the way that something's going to unfold, or you may be experiencing an important unfolding with somebody who is in a really strong position and can indeed support and help you. Even though I feel at times this month, you yourself, Pisces, may be grappling with the very humanness of experience right now, doesn't make you weak. Just as observing other people that are struggling doesn't make you superior. So where we have these moments of confusion and uncertainty and doubt, you have to catch yourself, because there could lead from that instances where then you want to start to betray yourself, betray the things that you have invested and committed to, betray the growth that you've been able to recognize and acknowledge in yourself. Because this is truly a month of changed behavior. We're going to be welcoming a number of planets coming away from retrograde. So Mercury on the 2nd, Pluto going direct on the 8th, and then followed by Saturn direct on the 22nd. And there's always a disruptive feeling when planets station direct, and we need to kind of take time to sort of find that new rhythm. But it's also a reminder that everything that you've been internalizing and processing through these last few weeks and months, you now need to bring forth, and you now need to move out of processing mode and into an experience in your pathway where you're showing yourself the ways in which you intend to change, and indeed you are changing. And that's going to mean so much, so that you can look back through this month and not get caught up in feeling like you have sort of allowed these self-betrayals to mount up. Because in the moment, it might not feel that significant. It's easier to sort of default back into the comfort zone. But honestly, let me be clear, if you are able to overcome that, then when we are witnessing, when we're caught up in participating in whatever I feel into as being particularly mind-blowing, you're going to realize that the changed behavior is absolutely everything in terms of what you take away from that experience. Okay, it's almost like you have two settings this month, Pisces. I think it's nothing or completely all in, so that could get kind of interesting. So what else do we have coming up? Well, there's going to be a full moon in the sign of Aries coming on the 8th of the month, and you have an interesting offer or invitation that might be coming up around that time. It's already set to be quite a passionate, intense energy, and here we've got the Knight of Cups coming through. So there's something I think that really strikes a chord on an emotional level for you. So whether it be an offer that comes in personally, professionally, romantically, it definitely is something that you are resonating with big time. Now, I feel a little bit of frustration energy that's coming through, and also this feeling that it's a bit risky. So there might be almost an annoyance on your part about the way in which it's been presented or how it's come forth. Or even you yourself wondering and thinking into how on earth can I make this work? I need you to remember and not lose sight of the standards that you set for yourself whenever you were revisiting those standards. And if it's been a while, then let's take this month to do it again, because there's something about that that's also going to help you to be clear from a boundary perspective about what feels good and what doesn't. I also have a sense that all eyes are on you. So in relation to something that you say, that you're participating in, what you're showing up to, you're going to have the courage of your conviction. Okay, so just follow it through. Even if you're uncertain yourself, if you were brought to that point and that was the initial intuitive feeling and belief and truth that you were holding, then see it through. You might not have everybody on board with your point of view or fully understanding you. They don't have to agree for you to be able to feel empowered in the expression of it. And really the journey is quite a personal one. So regardless of what people may or may not take away from it, and remember, most of the time that's none of our business, what you go through in the unfolding of that is really, really significant for you. Now be aware around that full moon, of course, and in the first part of the month we're still going to be dealing with energy of that Saturn-Uranus square that's been playing out through this year and 2021, and the truths that have emerged from that, the uncomfortable truths at time, the changes that we've been forced to make, the deconstruction from power structures especially, again are inviting this, like, you have to be able to stay true to what you know is the right thing for you. You have to let that change behavior happen, because this new path that's emerging is very much predicated on that. If you try to take the next step forward with some of that old energy that has perpetuated, and perhaps some of that is very bound up in like resistant thought patterns or ways that you saw yourself that are simply not true and you've outgrown them, then it's going to feel really uncomfortable to embrace some of this new energy. And to be honest, the new energy is coming in with a much more optimistic upside for you. But if you're not careful vibrationally, you could then get caught on the wrong side of it and start to tap into the circus that's out there and feeling into the vibrational scarcity or recession that, you know, people are determined to want to project, and that doesn't have to be your reality. Now, because I see you in this kind of two settings, all or nothing, I think that it might feel a bit precarious at times as to whether you're going to give yourself the opportunity to go for something. But remember, you know, the universe is set to deliver some doozies this month with this eclipse energy that's coming in. It's going to be new moon solar eclipse in Scorpio on the 25th of the month. And, you know, there is that huge trajectory shift taking place. And if we see something quite mind-blowing, if it feels quite shocking, it's supposed to wake us up and shake us up. And that Ace of Swords is cutting through the noise, cutting through the confusion, cutting through the BS and saying, here's where it sits, this is where it's at. And you yourself might be asked to be able to communicate in that way, which, you know, for some of you might feel a bit uncomfortable because you're a sensitive soul at heart. But at the same time, this is about your values. It's about what you're looking for in terms of your own life experience and what you want to see for the people that you care for, the family that is around you, the people that you connect to, the world at large. So there's like a bigger soul story, the bigger picture that's playing out and what's being asked of you right now. I love the star coming in because I think you do need that sort of break time. You need some healing, some rejuvenation. And the thing I'm going to say though is I feel just as you get like a moment where you feel like you can get a sigh of relief, like something is wrapped up, completed, or you get a bit of time to yourself, there's a timeout, all of a sudden like the next round begins. And that's kind of October. It's a bit of an adventure, it's a bit intense, it's a bit wild. And so take the moment, like when that star energy comes through and you just feel like you've got 5 minutes to yourself, really milk it, really enjoy it, really embrace it, because I don't know how long you're gonna have it through the course of this month. Okay, we don't want to lose our sense of humour in October is definitely what I want to say. And you also don't want to try to second guess where you think things are going to go. You are being invited to maintain a level of hope and optimism about a situation right now. Again, when it's predicated on the ability for you to be really radically honest with yourself. and call things out as you see them, yeah, both with yourself and the situations that you find yourself in with others, because that's really going to help change behavior all round, okay? Now, with Scorpio season, we also welcome Venus shifting into the sign, so that also brings about a level of intensity and a desire to bond and sort of come together in more meaningful ways. You might be kind of wanting to be exclusive, and however that kind of plays out, not just in romantic relationships, but also if you're talking business, because remember, Venus is ruling our money. So if there's like specific contracts, you know, there might be that desire to say, you know, if we're going to sign up, if we're going to do this together, then it's just me. Like, I don't want anyone else involved, if it's a company or an individual or something like that. So it's an exclusivity kind of thing that's coming through here. So the Magician shows up, and I like that because I think we need a bit of tenacity for you this month. I think we need the creativity and we need that surge of power. So just in the moment where you feel like, here we go again, you've got what it takes. And the reminder from the Magician is that you actually have everything that you need. You know what is required in this moment. Go back over your experiences and go back over some of the tools that you've deployed in different situations and how they've supported and helped you. It's easy to kind of at times get caught like bunny in the headlights and think, oh my God, what now? But actually, you're not being left high and dry, and you're not supposed to be in a position of weakness this month, far from it. With that King of Pentacles opening your reading as your guide card, this is about you feeling into a sense of certainty and trust about the way that things are unfolding and where you're heading. You also need to creatively look at how you can turn situations around, and I think you can. And again, that star is telling me that it's your optimism, your hope, and a little bit of celestial guidance. Remember, the veil is super thin this month with us approaching Samhain and Halloween at the end of the month. You just need to make sure that you're free and clear of energetic attachments. When you realize what's yours and what isn't, it's going to put you in a much stronger position with your own boundaries to be able to assert yourself. And remember to kind of do all of the necessary energetic things that you know how to do that are feeling perhaps quite basic, like protecting yourself, disconnecting, clearing out, especially if you're, you know, wanting to connect and link into your ancestors and loved ones more because of this month, okay? The other big story, of course, in October is that Mars is shifting retrograde in Gemini at the end of the month, and you'll feel into the shadow of that all the way through October. That's why we have such a sort of push-pull energy going on at large this month. It can help us in many ways, but I suppose the thing to remember is that there are sort of lackluster, losing motivation, momentum, and kind of physical energy attached to that particular transit. But it can help us go over how we want to bring passion back into things, and that can be really, really helpful for you, especially if you're trying to review and revisit with a changed behavior and a new outlook. So whatever shocks or surprises you, whatever feels like it's kind of mind-blowing, there's something also about this Mars energy that's going to help you to see things in a new way and put a plan in place for yourself that when you're ready to take it forward, it's going to feel in a very, very different vibrational energy, okay? You are on the right track, but we are in a little bit of the messy middle through October. Just need you to be aware of that, okay? So we're going to go ahead and pull your additional 3 cards for the month's reading. We'll cover these off in the extended version of the reading. If you're new to the channel, we talk for another 25 minutes or so. You'll get deeper insights into these messages and anything else that comes through for you, Pisces. Okay. I'm also just going to invite you to think about your personal question. Might not have come up in the main reads. We'll pull some cards for you to address that as well. Remember, all of the decks are listed in the comment and the description box underneath. And a reminder that my Sacred Soul Support guided journeys over on the website this month are dealing with emotional boundaries and energetic attachment. So there's some support there for you. Okay, King of Pentacles. Bringing in the 9 of Cups. 3 of Cups. Beautiful. 2 of Cups and the Sun. This Ace of Swords, Empress. Okay. the Lovers. You have a lot of emphasis around union, relationships. Okay. The asteroid goddess energies are also shifting in October. Vesta's going to be moving direct in Aquarius on the 5th. And we also have Juno connected in with the relationships and in your sign Pisces moving direct on the 23rd. Just a reminder, I do the goddess reports that can help you make sense of that from your own natal chart. You can find the link for that in the description box underneath. Okay, we're going to pull you some oracle cards. This is Life Soul Vision, which is my new deck and now available on general release. You can see all of the cards previewed over on my website. What do we have for October? Enlightened in the exhale. Beautiful. Look forward to sharing that message with you. And this is Kyle Gray's Angelic Prayers. What does Kyle have to share with us with the angels? Beautiful. Spiritual support. Okay, Pisces, if you're joining me for the extended, we'll go deeper into this reading for October. Otherwise, I'm going to wish you beautiful blessings. I'll see you guys again next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. You take care.